Hello students, welcome to Want to Come. In this video, I'll start with the introduction to the periodic classification of elements and how this concept has been initiated by different scientists in different ways that we will also discuss. This periodic classification is nothing but to arrange or to organize elements in an orderly manner. But before going that, let us discuss very simple but a fundamental concept of this orderly manner. If we keep the things properly, then it will be available for us or we can find them easily without any chaos. For an example, in a book shelf, we arrange different types of books categorically in different shelf. Or in kitchen, we keep pulses and different spices separately so that we can get it easily. Similarly, we also keep our apparels in the cupboard in an orderly manner. So just like this, some scientists in the beginning of 1800 started to organize different elements arranged into different groups based on the similarities in properties. What are the elements available during those time? Taking into consideration of these properties, they started to grouping those elements. So this would help the other scientists to study about different elements. And the very first attempt was made during 1829 by a German scientist, Dobereiner, where he classified elements into small groups containing only three elements, and this concept was known as triads or law of triads, where the atomic mass of the middle element is approximately the average of the other two elements. For an example, in case of lithium, sodium and potassium, where their masses are this lithium 7, this 23 for sodium, and for 39 is potassium. So the mass of sodium is approximately the average of lithium as well as potassium, and this is known as the law of triads, and is applicable to very few elements known at that time, and he could able to identify only these three triads. So it might be a coincidence, and ultimately it didn't work. So the next attempt was made by a French geologist D. Chan-Courtois, who arranged the known elements with increasing order of their atomic weights by making a cylindrical table just like this. However, this also didn't last long. It was Alexander Newlands who made the next attempt for the classification of different elements. He arranged all the elements in the order of the increasing order of the atomic masses. His arrangement was in such a way that the properties of every eighth element are similar to that of the first element of the series. This is just like the resemblance of first and the eighth notes in an octave of music. Just like this. Here you can observe, after hydrogen, lithium is the first element and sodium is the eighth element in the series, and as per the law of octaves, the properties of sodium are similar to that of lithium. Similarly, the properties of magnesium are similar with those of beryllium, aluminium with those of boron, silicon with those of carbon, and so on. So he named this his law as law of octaves, and this is a part of the original form of Newland's octave. However, there was some drawbacks in his concept. He assumed of only 56 elements existed in nature, and no more elements would be found in the future. Again, this law was applicable only up to calcium. He even adjusted few elements in the same series. You can see the presence of nickel and cobalt, which are kept with the fluorine, chlorine and bromine, which have completely different properties. Again, after the discovery of noble gases, this law became irrelevant. It worked only for the lighter elements. The next attempt was made by a Russian chemist D. Mendeleev. In fact, all credits go to Mendeleev for actually introducing the periodic law for the first time, as well as the early form of periodic table, where the elements were arranged as per their fundamental properties or their atomic masses. Atomic masses. However, another scientist named Lothar Meyer, who parallelly made the arrangement of elements based on the atomic masses of the elements too. But it was Mendeleev who published the periodic law first. And the law states that the properties of elements are the periodic function of their atomic masses. Mendeleev arranged the elements in horizontal rows known as periods and vertical columns known as groups. And the arrangement was in such a way that the elements with similar properties occupied in same groups or vertical columns. He even used a broader range of physical as well as chemical properties to classify the elements. You can see here the elements present in blue color boxes were known to him, whereas the pink color boxes kept vacant or gap in between the table, as elements like germanium or gallium or even noble gases elements were not discovered at that time. Even though he predicted their properties and kept some vacant places in between. His periodic table had some drawbacks, like some elements with dissimilar properties were found to be in the same group, and hydrogen could not be given a proper position in the table. So also for lanthanoids, actinoids and even for isotopes. Moreover, this table didn't strictly obey the increasing order of atomic weight. For an example, iodine is having less atomic weight than that of tellurium, but tellurium is placed in group 6th, whereas iodine is placed in group 7th along with fluorine, chlorine and bromine due to its similar properties. And later on, his work was modified by Henry Moseley. And he put forward the modern periodic law, which states that the physical and chemical properties of elements are the periodic function of their atomic numbers and not the atomic masses. So, in my next video, I will explain the modern periodic law as well as the long form of periodic table. So, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.